First of all, my chaplain for council today is the Reverend Hills Corcoran. She was appointed a team vicar in the Church of England team benefice based in and around Market Harbour in 2021. She has special responsibility for the Church of St Peter and St Paul in Great Bowden. I would like you all now to stand for the prayer.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to open this council meeting in prayer this evening. The prayer that I've chosen is one that helps me in my ministry. It's called the Romero Prayer, which was written in memory of Oscar Romero, who worked in very deprived neighbourhoods in El Salvador. And we're all here because we all want to make a difference in our small corner of the world. But very often the challenges that we encounter feel quite overwhelming, and very often our resources are limited. So whatever your faith or non-faith background, I hope this prayer inspires you today. If it does, I've left some copies by that table by the door for you to take away. This is what we are about. We plant the seeds that will one day grow. We water seeds already planted, knowing that they hold future promise. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces effects far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realising that. This enables us to do something and to do it very well. It may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for the Lord's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end result, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of a future that is not our own. And so, loving God, as we begin this meeting, we ask you to bless each one here with courage, compassion, creativity and wisdom and good listening as decisions are made for this community of Harborough and beyond. Amen.
Thank you. Reverend Corcoran has kindly brought some copies of her prayer. If anyone would like a copy, she's going to leave them on the table at the back. Thank you very much, Reverend Corcoran. We'll all sit, please. I'm going to move item 2 to before item 1, because I think it's appropriate to remember a councillor that was among us. Harborough District Councillor Mrs. Eileen Derrick was chairman of the council from 1998 to 99. Several of our present councillors will remember her as a colleague and a friend. She died earlier this year. I ask members to stand now for a minute's silence as a mark of respect for our former councillor and chairman, Councillor Mrs. Derrick. Thank you all very much. So we now take the presentation of the Citizenship Cup, and I invite the group of people connected with this item to come and stand by the lectern. Thank you. We're pleased to welcome to our meeting this evening the Market Harbour Civic Society's Citizenship Panel, Market Harbour movie makers, in particular Ralph Holderness, Chairman, Peter Wilford, Secretary and Acting Treasurer, and Colin Sullivan, together with Peter Mitchell of Harbour Cinema, formerly Octagon Films, all here today for the Citizenship 2023 presentation ceremony. One of my happiest memories in my childhood in Leicestershire was having friends round on my birthday to watch Mickey Mouse and Laurel and Hardy films. That dates me. My father, interested in anything mechanical, brought a projector and a screen, supposedly for my birthday one year. I was underwhelmed at first, but as the years went by, I began to realise what a magical machine it was. And I and my friends were caught in the spell of the movies, bringing the wonder of film into our house and keeping us quiet at the same time. The Market Harbour movie makers and Harbour Cinema's Peter Mitchell well understand this love of film. The movie makers have, since 1960s, dedicated over 60 years to producing a startlingly impressive library of films, charting the history and recording events and people in and around Harbour for posterity. Their contribution to the visual, historical record of the town is second to none. Their films bring to life scenes from our community and build on our knowledge of the past. And they have also regularly shown their films with the community. Thank you, movie makers. You have given pleasure and food for thought to many. We are indebted to you for your considerable contribution in producing such a wonderful historic record, which I sincerely hope will be publicly available to access in the future. Since the 1990s, Peter Mitchell of Harbour Cinema has shown similar dedication in establishing a cinema in the town. Harbour Cinema, formerly Octagon Films, which uses the Harbour Theatre for its performances, and it's almost entirely run by volunteers. To date, the cinema has shown 751 films with a total of 5,000 attendances, together with 316 live streamed broadcasts. Thank you, Peter, for enabling so many to see and enjoy the films. This is a great facility for the town and quite obviously very much appreciated. I'm now going to present the cup on behalf of Harbour District Council and the Market Harbour Civic Society, who initiated this award, to such deserving members of our community who have been single-minded in their commitment to the Harbour District. Do it, please.
Should have pictures I think go to we'll get our Yes. Yeah. Actually.
Yes. Come. Sorry. Sorry. I'd like to hand over to John Tillotson, who is chairman of the Civic Society, who's going to tell you a bit of the background about the award. Thank you very much, John.
Madam Chair, Councillor Johnson, Leader Councillor Knowles, other council members, recipients of the Citizenship Cup and guests. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Civic Society to express our grateful thanks to the Harbour District Council, from Churches Together, the Chamber of Trade, the Market Harbour Building Society, the Harbour Mail, the Historical Society, ourselves and the recipients of the Citizenship Cup for organising and hosting this important quinquennial event. 5 years ago, we awarded it to one of your former councillors, the late Marjorie Adcock. Now, the Society has always been appreciative of the support of the council members and officers since its inception in 1961. But more particularly since 1972 on local government reorganisation, when, in the absence of a town council, we were appointed informal consultees on all planning matters. But now, due to lack of resources, we can comment only on the major ones. Of late, we have also been particularly interested in traffic management and commenting on the town centre plan, and also the current community forums. In conclusion, may I say, we are all justly proud to be associated with the award of the Citizenship Cup, which was awarded originally by a member of the town to show appreciation of good work that has commended the town. Now, the recipients and our guests are now warmly invited to join us for refreshments at the Three Horns Hotel in the Signet Room upstairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Bulletin 3. And now on to item 3, apologies for absence. Thank you, councillor Knowles.
Can we add Councillor Whitmore to the apologies for absence?
Thank you. And any other apologies? Could you give, have we had any apologies?
Councillor Foreman, sorry, Chair. Just pull this up. Sorry, Councillor Bannister.
Thank you, Chairman. From the Conservative Group, Councillor Nunn gives her apologies.
Thank you.
I understand that Councillor Bilby is travelling to the council meeting. He hopes to be here. He's not here yet, and he extends his apologies first for being late if he arrives, and completely if he can't make it in time. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, councillor Bannister. Yeah.
Sorry, it's
Okay, excuse me, I've just been told Councillor Hollick is also not present.
Letton Hollick, isn't it?
Sends his apologies.
that's-
I have a note here actually that says we also have apologies from councillor Birch and we've had councillor Nunn. Yeah. Councillor Foreman. Thank you. Right, chairman's announcements. Okay, here we go. To date, following annual council, I've attended 25 events in the district. Among the many invitations which I've had to and been happy to accept was the first invitation to open the new hydrotherapy unit in Market Harbour's Leisure Centre. Then came Carnival Day in Market Harbour, where I helped to judge the floats and open Green Street. Both the floats and Green Street stalls were admirable green credentials. The event was the opening for Big Green Week, organised by Sustainable Harbour. I learnt a lot through the week, attending 13 events, including Kibworth's creation service in the Methodist Church and Thedingworth Village Hall's exhibition on the history of a local organic farm. The week ended with the Big Green Picnic in Welland Park and a visit to an open garden created by Ukrainians in our community and featuring art chairs designed and painted by them. The 19th of June was Armed Forces Flag Raising Day. Also attending was our Armed Forces champion, Councillor Asher, her first duty in this. On the 9th of July, I was invited to present prizes for the category winners at the Classic Car Show, a great event for many with even more cars on show than ever. On the 11th of July, I met with East Midlands in Bloom judges in Welland Park. Now with extended meadow sections and all the bedding perfect. Harbour in Bloom members, all volunteers working with officers, are to be commended for their contribution, which each year expands into other areas of our town. Last week, as chairman of HDC, I processed with other civic dignitaries at the University of Leicester degree ceremonies at De Montfort Hall. There is another happy event I wish to mention here, which actually I didn't attend, and that is the birth of a baby girl called Aaliyah, to Councillor Foreman. I'm sure you will all wish to join me in sending Councillor Foreman and her family our very best wishes and congratulations. And now we move to a different sort of announcements. We'll do the housekeeping announcements first. I'm intending to have a comfort break for everyone at 8 p.m. today. And I remind councillors that when you're speaking, you should stand. The fire exits, I think the main fire exit, correct me if I'm wrong, is over there. And I think I have one more thing to say, and that is to reply to Councillor Bateman. I thank him for his email of today. I'm not accepting late business for this meeting. If you wish, you can submit a question to the next council meeting. Thank you. Next. Minutes of the council meeting on the 27th of February. Excuse me, councillors, I missed out number 5, which is declarations of members' interests. Yes, councillor Beadle.
Thank you, Chair. Just to record that I am employed by a train operating company and I sit on the National Executive Committee of a trade union that's referred to in the disputes under item 13.
Thank you, councillor Beadle. Any other declarations of interest? Councillor King?
Yes, Madam Chairman, in relation to the leader's statement, comments about the future of the Symington building, need to declare that I'm a member of Leicestershire County Council, which is a leaseholder at this building. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Any others? Councillor Mrs Page? Ditto. Councillor Bannister?
I refer to Councillor King's remarks.
Thank you. And Councillor Galton?
Yes, Madam Chairman. The same item, County Councillor.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we'll go on to the minutes then of the 27th of February. Can I have a proposal for these minutes, Councillor Mrs Page?
I'd just like to say that I wasn't listed on page 5. However, I'm listed on page 9 on the recorded vote. So if we can correct that, please. And I'm happy to propose.
Yes, I think actually, Councillor Page, on page 9.
It's a recording. You've been missed off the attendees at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Unfortunately, Councillor Mrs Page, sometimes people weren't using their microphones as well, which doesn't help. If I could just remind everybody not to pick them up by their necks and to leave them high up. They are more sensitive since they're upgrade and you don't need to pull them down to speak into them.
Do we have a proposal for the minutes?
Councillor Mrs Page.
Councillor Mrs Page, seconder. Councillor Knowles. Okay, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you very much. Moving on to the minutes of the 15th of May, annual council. Do we have a proposal for Councillor Knowles? Do we have any comments to be made? I would like to make a comment actually on page minute. So there. It's at the end of this, isn't it? It's at the end of this. Where I was going to make the yes.
15th of May.
Oh, yes, no, it was in the other one, wasn't it? Yeah. No, okay, I do not have a comment to make actually. So let's go on now to item 7 on our agenda, receive a report from the leader. Thank you, Councillor Knowles.
Did we have a seconder for the minutes of the 15th?
Yes, do we have a seconder?
Councillor Asher. Thank you.
Councillor Asher. All those in favour? Thank you.
To sign.
And now on to item 7, receive a report from the leader.
Do you have copies of the minutes to sign?
Thank you, Chair.
No.
The report has been tabled and I'm happy to take any questions.
Councillor Bateman.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Yes, thank you to the leader for his first report. And if you'll bear with me, this is my first time as opposition leader asking questions of the report. So the first question I would ask is, why has it only been tabled today? bearing in mind the fuss that the leader made against the previous leader in the administration, that we weren't given time to read the report because it was produced on the day of the meeting, etc., etc. And the first meeting we come to, the leader presents his report on the table as I walk in the door at 6:15, which is not an illustrious start to his position as leader, my personal opinion. It'd be interesting to know why it's taken so long, bearing in mind he's been in power for 11 weeks and we get one A4 piece of paper. It does say here, it's been an extremely busy and informative few weeks. Informative for whom? I'd like to ask the leader, because I don't.
Councillor Bateman, I think you've made your point.
Thank you. So the other questions I have on the leader's report, he mentions he's had meetings with two of our members of Parliament, Mr. Costa and Mr. O'Brien. Can he advise if he's having any meetings with?
I'm sorry, Councillor Bateman, you're only allowed one question.
One question on the whole report?
One question at a time. Can we just ask one question at a time instead of?
Do you want him to answer? Do you asking the leader to answer one at a time, or would he like to answer at the end of all the questions? Whatever's easiest.
Oh, okay, fine. Yes,
Point of order, Chairman. Previously, even under your previous chairmanship of the council, you allowed the current leader a great deal of latitude in asking a lot of questions all at once when I was in the role of leader. And if you're going to stop and start the questioning, so we just need to be very clear what the rules of engagement are, Chair, with respect. And I'd be grateful if you could just clarify that. Thank you.
yes, please.
I will take that, Councillor King. It was my interjection there in terms of Councillor Bateman because of the number of questions that were coming forward. I apologise for that. The chair was taking the lead after me, so that's on me. If the leader is happy to receive all of the questions in one go, then again, I apologise, Councillor Bateman, for stopping you.
Chairman, in response, I'm very happy for Councillor Bateman to give all his questions.
Thank you.
And I hadn't realised that we needed rules of engagement. I rather thought this was a council meeting, not a battle.
Okay, please carry on.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, leader. Thank you for the clarification there on that. Forgotten where I got to now. Oh, yes. You've had meetings with Mr. Costa and Mr. O'Brien. Just asking if you have anything arranged with Ms. Kearns, the MP on Rutland side of the county, which is quite a large proportion of our district, if you have any meetings arranged. Moving on, I noticed that you talk about the potential of the Symington building hosting a banking hub, but I wonder how that fits in with today's press release in relation to your review of all the assets and the potential for moving out council staff to outlying offices, etc. What are your plans with the Symington building, bearing in mind things like its carbon footprint, where the capital funding is in there for secondary glazing to this building to assist with our climate action plan that was installed by the Conservative majority previously. What are your plans in relation to that, and have your Green members made any comments with regards to your green impact of leaving the building, leaching heat into the atmosphere and the carbon footprint going up? We'll move on to the next question. In relation to where you say it's been an extremely busy and informative few weeks. I did mention it before, but we've still heard nothing in relation to your coalition agreement. I know there is a question tabled later and I'd be appreciative of any response. I was expecting the replies to be tabled tonight, but I assumed the leader was going to verbally reply to the questions on the agenda. I'll leave that with the councillor. Just a couple of things that are missing from this report, Councillor Knowles, and that is the rail company's ticket office closures consultation, where we all know that they're looking to close the ticket offices across the country. Market Harbour has a station, as we know, and one of the busiest railway stations in Leicestershire. The closing date for this consultation is the 26th, which is Wednesday. Could the leader advise if he has responded to the consultation on behalf of the authority? If he has responded, are members going to be given the opportunity to see the consultation response? And if he hasn't replied, does he intend to do so before Wednesday or not? And if not, why not? And the other thing that's missing from the report is clearly what can I don't know what word to use really, but the distress caused by the lack of information and communications with our residents and businesses over the event at the showground.
Councillor Bateman,
Yes.
I think that is the subject of the business I refused. I think you need to raise that later. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it. I have no other questions of the leader. I look forward to his responses and I'll leave it with any other members who might reply. Thank you.
Councillor Sarfas.
Just wanted to make some points. Every time the Conservatives over the last 4 years in the meetings, the leader's report was always late. So I would say to the leader that he needs to practice what he preaches himself. And the reason why it's taken a long time to sort out things in the council is because it's in a mess that you left it in.
Any more questions? Yes, Councillor Bannister.
That's okay.
Can I ask the leader if he is prepared to have a review of the rate?
Councillor Bateman, the answers to all of the written questions that were submitted have been published on MySeemis app. Copies should have been put in all of the members' rooms, and so they are available. And Democratic Services have some printed copies available also. Councillor Bannister, in terms of the review of the agenda, that would be something that goes through the Constitutional Review Committee. That is not something for the leader necessarily to do. And I pass it on back to you, Chair.
Councillor King.
Chairman, thank you. And just on that last point, there is no copy of the written answers in the members' room. I was in there earlier. It's not there, which is why we were asking. So thank you for your statement. However late it was, Councillor Knowles. I understand the pressures of doing the job and how difficult it can be to get these things out. But even by my standards, this was very late. But I welcome your comment about banking, and you might recall, Councillor Knowles, that before the election, I raised a question with the interim chief executive about arranging a stakeholder meeting between different parties, between councillors, but also businesses and representatives of the community and banks and for other financial institutions about how we could look at not just a banking hub, but access to banking services. And I have asked that question a couple of times of the interim chief, and she's referred me to you, and I've not had any response. And I'm just wondering if you could answer that question as whether you are willing to have a wide-ranging stakeholder meeting, use the convening powers of the council to do that, rather than just telling us you're looking at the Symington building. But just picking up what and the other second question, if I may, Chair, was that I wonder if the leader will agree to meeting with the traders who have been affected in the last few days, or who've certainly lost a lot of income, and it's cost them a lot of money. And as I attended a meeting with about 40 of them earlier, I wonder if the leader will agree to holding a meeting or being present at a meeting with other stakeholders, with representations.
Sorry, Councillor King.
Consider concern.
Councillor
Thank
King,
you, Chair.
this is the same question as Councillor Bateman asked.
Oh, I thought it was different, Chair.
No. Any more questions? Yes. Councillor James.
Thank you, Chair. It's just a comment. I'm just pleased to see in the
in the leaders' report that we will have an asset review involving capital schemes. I think over a number of years, we've not really done very well on delivering capital schemes, and capital schemes are something that the public sees that we've changed something, we've improved something. So I do welcome that review, because I think we need to, when we've got funding allocation, that we need to deliver, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor James. Any more questions? No, I think that's it, councillor Nutt.
Well, thank you, Madam Chairman. I mean, first of all, I used to regularly walk in here and find the leaders' report on the table, and I was very, very grateful and always said thank you very much. Because you have to be grateful sometimes when things turn up in advance, and these were tabled before the meeting. Pardon? I'm sorry, I think Councillor King has some remark he wishes to make. Oh, he's just muttering. Okay. So, as I was saying, Chairman, it was put on the table. Now, in answer to Councillor Bateman's about the 2 meetings with the members of Parliament, the 3rd member of Parliament has been asked about having a meeting. Unfortunately, at this moment in time, we've had no response. But the meetings have taken place with Mr O'Brien and with Mr Costa. They've been extremely productive. And both, I have to say, and I have to commend them, they have made the same point. They're very happy to work with us where they can to improve and help the people of the district. We know we're not going to agree all the time, but they were very, very productive meetings. And we've also had a similar meeting, Councillor Bateman, with the Police and Crime Commissioner, and that again was very, very useful indeed. With regards to the Symington and the banking hub, Councillor Bateman touched on there. I mean, basic bottom line is we have to look at what we're going to do with this building. From the information we've seen, having taken office, doing nothing is not an option. The banking hub will fit in within that consideration, and members will be told and advised what's going on as things progress. It's not our intention to keep anything secret on the development and the potential of the banking hub, and it is my intention to broaden it out, because at the end of the day we are looking to provide the best that we can from this asset for the people of the whole district. So again, we will be very much looking at that. As far as leaching heat into the atmosphere, I'm looking at Councillor Woodywis. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we're having to look at this quite closely. The infrastructure is a concern. There is an issue. We know that. Regrettably, one of the first things we had to do when we took office was to sit down with the officers, go through this, and the first thing we find out is that we are on the cusp of spending hundreds of thousands of pounds, several £100,000 over the figure that was budgeted, for example, for Roman Way. We've had to pull that one back from the brink, put it on hold. A very important and a very emotive issue of homes for people who are desperate for them. And it's not a step we took lightly. But the money that was in the budget and the money that's got to be spent are two very, very different things there. And I'm quite happy to discuss that with Councillor Bateman privately. As he will say, he and I did meet for almost 2 hours a few weeks ago and discuss a wide range of issues. With regards to the rail ticket office, yes, I've been in touch with the rail authorities. I am meeting with the rail authorities because I don't just want to send a consultation in that's going to get lost. We are meeting. I haven't got my diary in front of me, but the meeting is happening either tomorrow or Wednesday. And at that meeting, we will be discussing our concerns about the situation, about the fact that any changes to ticket office needs to dovetail. It needs to actually accept that we need some modernisation, but that actually has to understand the impact on the wider community, be they disabled people, be they people with sight restrictions, or just members of the general public who haven't got access to computers, etc. So that discussion will be had. And there is always the option, of course, Chairman, for each individual member, should they wish to take time out and to respond. Councillor Sarpath, thank you for your comments. I don't think there was any questions there that I needed to actually go on to. Councillor Bannister, you asked about the review in the agenda and items. The item you touched on there, I think, is an interesting one. It's certainly one that we can take up through constitutional review. I think that's the place for that to go. And as chair of the Constitutional Review Committee, as well as the leader of the authority, we'll take it there and we'll see what has to be said and how that can be looked at in some detail. So it won't happen overnight, but we'll have a look at it. Councillor King touched on the no copy in the members' room. I don't know the answer to that, Councillor King, but I will find out. You remarked about there being no copies in the members' room of was it my statement or some particular item? Or the questions? Yeah. So, well, apologies. I don't have a key to the Conservative group room, so I can't help you out with that one, but we'll certainly have a look. And as you say, that the item of the banking hub, that's important. Again, we need to have some sort of dovetailing of the facilities within our district on banking. We're losing high street banks up and down the country, and the impact is immense. The chief executive, I don't know about it being referred to me. I've not seen anything, but I will have a word with the chief executive on that. And I will say this, that it is an important issue. It's something that we need to look at, and we need to look at in detail. It is a consideration within what we may or may not have to do within the fabric of this building. And again, we will look at it, and again, we will report back. And we will encourage members to get involved, because after all, this is a facility for the whole of the community, not just for members of the Traffic Light Coalition. It's not just for us, it's for everybody. So we will certainly look to that. As far as the meeting with the traders, I have no problem. I'll meet with anybody. I've already had several meetings with many groups from all sorts of areas of our community. And I'm very happy to do so, from residents who have got problems with certain aspects to associations of scouts and all sorts of things. So we're very open to have any discussion on any item that we can assist with. And as far as the asset review, as Councillor James said, there is a definite need, I think, to show a deep and meaningful review of the assets, because at the end of the day, we're looking to how we can provide security for our staff, security for our residents, and security of services going forward. And the bottom line is very simple. If we don't take action now, there's an issue. Doing nothing is not an option. And I think several members of the opposition will know that that is an absolute statement of fact. And I expect that you will be very supportive as this goes forward, and wanting to encourage us to actually make the best use that we possibly can. I'm not going to impart any of the details with regards to the showground, Chairman, because you're ruled that out. But I can tell you, as I say, that according to what I've been told, that there have been no reported antisocial behaviour caused by those attending the event. There have been 2 incidents against those attending the event, which the police are currently investigating. So no antisocial behaviour, but 2 incidents against those who are attending. I'm not going to go into any more detail on that, Chairman, other than to say one thing. It has been disturbing to see some of the remarks that have been made in the press and allegations about councillors being told that they can't speak, and also, muzzled and all sorts of things. I've been accused of sending out an email and marking that email strictly confidential. I did not send out that email. The author was invited to remove the comments and wouldn't. The officers made it very clear that that email was sent out by the chief executive. And then a press release went out. And yet again, almost unprecedented, officers of this authority had to send out corrections to the email. And I would just say to members, if you're going to challenge things, or you're going to make statements of that sort, when it's offered in good grace to withdraw the inaccuracies and the erroneous comments, it's probably more worthwhile taking it. If you don't, it just tends to snowball. And that's exactly what's happened here, because that information, as I say, has ended up in the press. We've ended up with the press contacting the council, and the officers, not referring it to me, but the officers then correcting the erroneous information. And I think, Chairman, that in itself is concerning, because there were challenges and comments about confidentiality. Confidentiality is an important word. And if anybody wants to ask about confidentiality, I'll say only 2 words: Naseby Square. Naseby Square, confidentiality. That has not been breached, nor will it be breached. But on this one, when the word confidentiality was used, for some reason, there seemed to be a rush to challenge it, or not to accept the meaning of the word. So I think there is an issue there, Chairman. It needs to be looked at sometime in the future. And I don't think there's much more that I can say, but other than to thank members for their comments.
Thank you, councillor Knowles. We now move. Stop. Okay.
Sorry, Chairman, you just ruled earlier that you wouldn't allow the urgent motion from councillor Bateman about the issues surrounding the Market Harbour Showground and the council's communication with the community. Yet the leader has just made a statement about that, and you've allowed that. And when I made a question earlier, you ruled me out of order. Thank you, Chairman.
Councillor King, both you and councillor Bateman, I had the opportunity for a while to say what you said about the concern in question, and councillor Knowles had about the same length of time as you two before you were stopped. Thank you.
Chairman, can I just offer my apologies? I should not have spoken because obviously you ruled it out of order.
Councillor Knowles, I still think it was a fairly fair base at the end of the day, anyway. The members' questions, right? And I'm just going to, sorry,
just quick point of order, if I may. The monitoring officer mentioned that the answers were in the group rooms and on CMIS.
I'm just coming on to that, councillor.
Yeah, I wasn't informed of that previously, so I don't have any of that information in front of me.
Yes, yes. Okay, we're moving on to the item on questions from members. And I just want to say about that, 6 members have submitted questions, and these are set out at page 19 and 20 in your papers. Each member has a maximum of 5 minutes to ask the question printed in the agenda if they wish. The member asking the question may therefore ask one supplementary question under Rule 11.9. I will only allow the question if it arises directly out of the original question or the reply. Thank you. Councillor Mrs. Page.
Thank you, Chairman. And I have got a question on the question, if I may, please.
Thank you.
Now, I'm to Mr. the portfolio holder. I'm aware that the ASB is related to, pardon?
I'll just raise a point of order, Madam Chairman. I do apologise to my learned friend, Councillor Page. First of all, Chairman, we seem to have skipped item 8 on the agenda. Could we go back to that? Councillor Page was referring to her question, which I believe was number 3. Could we please deal with those questions in order that they were submitted and are on the reply paper? Thank you.
Councillor Bannister, you were quite right. In any case, that's allowed me the opportunity to say to Councillor Page, can she wait until we've done the people before? Okay. So, and the question was...
members' questions.
Yes, questions. Sorry?